Are you curious what's happening in the real estate market now for the start of 2023? Hey, I'm Adam D with the Local Connect and KW Realty, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the market update for January 2023. So if you've been watching my videos, you remember we ended the year talking about the decline in transactions. And one of the things I'm seeing already in January this year is that transaction count is up. We were far busier just in the first couple weeks of January than we were in December and November. I think one of the reasons why is that interest rates have actually declined since October. So it looks like they peaked in October and interest rates have gradually been coming down since October. So hopefully that continues. We will see. But I think that the mortgage lenders have built in some buffer room or rate increases. So that's going to alleviate a little bit. The thing that we have not seen, again, is an increase in inventory. So I think people are feeling a little bit more comfortable because a market crash cannot happen without an increased inventory. And we have not seen that increase in inventory. So sure, yes, there are slightly more homes on the market than there was in an extreme market like 2021, for example, but nowhere near than there was in a market crash year like 08 or even in normal years like we saw in 2017 and 18. So let's jump into the numbers and look at a little more detail right here. So let's dig into the numbers a bit here. One of the things we talked about is our prices going down. Well, this is median sold price for the entire MLS in our local area here by month. I'm really not looking at early 2022. I wanted to see the end into this coming year in 23, and you can see it's remained pretty flat month over month here through the end of the year. So yeah, it is up overall, but we knew that there was some craziness going on in the beginning of the year. Last half of the year, heading into 23, prices are about the same, not a whole lot of change. And the other thing we're looking at is sale price versus sold price. If there's going to be a big difference between what properties are asking for and what they're selling for. And again, they're keeping pace with each other. There were some big changes earlier in the year where you're seeing these properties sell for significantly more than asking price. Not seeing as much of that anymore, but the numbers are pretty tight together. Now, if you've been listening to my videos, I've been telling you for a few months now that the number of transactions declined significantly in 2022. So you can see that every month towards the end of the year of last year, the number of sold properties actually went down. Fewer properties selling. And that would make sense that when we look at this slide that under contract properties are down as well. And usually when this happens, we say, wow, there's a significant increase in inventory. And again, if you've been listening to me, you know that a significant increase in inventory would majorly change the market. However, when we look at new properties coming on the market, they went down as well. So it makes sense. There's less properties coming on the market. Therefore, there's less going under contract and less selling. So inventory has, by the way, gone up a little bit overall, but it's still very low historically. And that's why we haven't seen a significant downtrend in pricing. And you'll see these, for sale properties have kind of remained around the same. So again, not telling us that there's some type of major change in inventory, which keeps prices kind of the way they are. And so talking about that a bit, what I wanted to point out is if we took the same time period, we'll call it pre-pandemic or pre-COVID and post-COVID, that same about 2.5 years, previously we saw about a 12% appreciation in 2.5 years. Very normal market, healthy market, right? But the most recent 2.5 years during COVID, we saw a 38% appreciation. That's extremely high. We know that that trend cannot continue. And it doesn't also mean that there's devastation in the market either, because things have bounced back to being normal and maybe only a couple points of appreciation or depreciation in either direction. Kind of a normal, healthy market again. Now, a lot of people have told me that they're seeing more and more homes with price reductions and everybody's reducing their price. Yeah, a little bit, but not much. I mean, we're talking about a 1% increase of homes having their price reduced. So really not much of that at all when we actually look into the numbers, but one of the things we are seeing is these homeowners or sellers just can't price the house anywhere that they want to any longer. They do have to price it competitively and in line with the market in order to find a buyer. Now, I mentioned earlier that mortgage rates actually have been trending down, believe it or not. So now this slide's probably a couple weeks old at this point, but the fact of the matter is that we saw interest rates peak around October. Now, I'm not saying that they're not going to go up again any further, but we did predict that mortgage rates were not just going to continue going straight up in the air, right? And they did kind of level off, plateau, actually gone down a little bit, and haven't reached that October peak yet as of January 2023. We'll see what happens going forward. But if you remember, a lot of the experts predicted that we were probably going to hang around that same mortgage interest rate that we've been at, without any major changes. So it looks like that trend is continuing. I show this slide every once in a while. People keep waiting for the foreclosures to pop up. Simply hasn't. There are very, very few distressed properties. Reason why is everybody has a whole lot of equity in their house. So even if someone could not afford their mortgage, they can probably sell it right now. They're not underwater. A lot of the buyers we've seen in the market today are taking advantage of adjustable rate mortgages to bring that rate down a little bit. I know ARMs or adjustable rates are a scary word. Talk to your mortgage lender. They're not the high risk products that they used to be. Things are much tighter now, much stricter, and everybody's putting down a significant amount of money that I'm seeing. So people are putting 20+% down. They have equity in the house. They can always refinance later. You have some options. So an ARM actually might be a very wise choice in today's market. So, schedule that consult with a lender and see if it makes sense for you. And we talked about inventory again. There are, more listings right now on the market than there was before. So for a buyer, that's good news. You might have a little bit more to pick from, but don't let this graph fool you. Again, it is higher, but it's still low for traditional or historic norms. If you're a buyer, there might be a little bit more to pick from, but you also notice there isn't a lot to pick from. So that's a quick look at what we're seeing overall for January 2023. It looks like we're going to be heading into a busy spring market once again. Thanks again for watching another edition of our monthly market update. If you're liking these videos and the content you see, please subscribe so you're alerted to the next one. I'm Adam D with KW Realty and the Local Connect, and I'll see you on the next video.